You know, it's pretty amazing when you think about it, how just a few words can echo for what, over 1,000 years? Well, today we're going to dive into one of China's most famous poems. And yeah, on the surface, it's just about a goose. But trust me, hidden inside these super simple lines is this incredible story about ambition and spirit and even speaking truth to power. So let's get right into it.
So it all starts with just a sound. Eh, eh, eh. You know, the call of a goose. And you have to ask yourself, how could three simple syllables like that be the start of a masterpiece from the Tang Dynasty? It's kind of wild. Let's find out.
Okay, so before we really get into the nitty-gritty and break it all down, let's just experience it first. I'm going to recite each line for you. First in the original Chinese, so you can really hear that music in the language, and then in English, just so we can start building that picture in our minds together.
All right, here we go. That first line in Chinese is just that sound, eh, eh, eh. It's almost like a chant, right? Super simple, direct, repetitive. The poet isn't just describing the goose here. You get the feeling he's kind of becoming the goose, almost like he's just in awe of her.
Now for the second line, Goose,向天歌, and right here, that simple sound suddenly turns into this really powerful image. The goose isn't just honking, you know? It's craning its neck, looking up, and singing a song to the sky itself. And that's our first big clue that we're not talking about just any old bird here.
And then the scene shifts with the next line, Bai Mao Fu Lu Shui. And boom, suddenly we get color. And stillness. The imagery is just so calm, isn't it? These pure white feathers just resting totally effortlessly on this vibrant green water. It's just a beautiful, peaceful picture.
And we finish with the last line, Hong Zhang Bo Ping Bo. Now we've got action and another pop of color. These bright red feet are actively paddling, kicking up the clear water. And that really completes the whole picture, with this sense of purpose and movement.
So stop and think about that for a second. With just 18 characters, that's it. The poet gives us sound, motion, and a whole palette of colors. I mean, how is that even possible? It's incredible. Okay, let's break down how he does it.
Okay, so the poet's use of color here, it's honestly a masterclass in contrast. You get that stark bai, the white feathers, set right against the lu, that green water. And then you get the hong, the red feet, pushing through the qing, which is like the clear blue-green ripples. Putting those colors together like that just makes the whole image pop. It's totally unforgettable.
And it's not just the colors. The poet also creates this amazing balance between stillness and motion. You have the character fu, which means to float. It gives you this sense of calm, effortless grace. The goose is just chillin'. But then you get bo, which means to paddle or to push. And that's all about energy, action, and purpose. It's that back and forth, that dynamic contrast, that really makes this goose feel so alive.
So we've seen all this beautiful imagery, right? But like I hinted at earlier, this poem is about so much more than just a pretty picture. There's one line in particular that is the absolute key to unlocking its deeper meaning.
This is it. This is the soul of the entire poem, right here in this one phrase, to crane one's neck and sing to the sky. See, the goose isn't just honking anymore. It's singing with intent. It's looking up to the vastness of the heavens, and suddenly it becomes this symbol of a noble spirit, of ambition, of having a voice, and being totally unafraid to use it, to speak to the universe itself. It's huge.
So who was the person who saw all this noble spirit in a simple goose? Well, the answer is, it's pretty mind-blowing, actually. This wasn't written by some seasoned old master poet. It was written by a kid, a child. And the life that child went on to live, it makes this poem feel less like a simple observation and more like a prophecy.
The poet's name was Luo Binwang, and get this, he wrote this poem when he was only 7 years old. Just 7, and he grew up to be this brilliant official in the imperial court. But just like that goose singing to the sky, Luo Binwang just couldn't keep his voice down. He ended up being imprisoned for criticizing the government, and then later, he actually joined a rebellion against the incredibly powerful Empress Wu Zetian, and he even wrote this famous declaration against her. I mean, think about it. That 7-year-old boy who saw Goose singing to the heavens grew up to be a man who dared to speak his mind to the most powerful person in the land. Wow.
So why? Why does this simple little poem, written by a child more than 1,300 years ago, still hit so hard today? Well, it's because the goose is so much more than just a goose.
When you get right down to it, the poem is this beautiful reminder that a powerful voice, a soaring spirit, it can come from the most humble beginnings. I mean, here's this goose, just floating in a pond, but it has a song that's meant for the entire sky. It's a perfect metaphor for the potential that's tucked away inside all of us, no matter how ordinary we might think our lives are.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? Luo Binwang saw this incredibly noble spirit in a goose. So the question for you is, if you look closely enough at your own world, what ambition, what song to the sky is hiding in the simple things that you see every single day?